discuss about morphological changes of reversible cell injury. Morphological changes of reversible cell injury. What are the changes that takes place in case of reversible cell injury? First, let us discuss, before discussing about the changes in reversible cell injury, now let us discuss what is reversible cell injury. First, let us discuss reversible cell injury. What is reversible cell injury? Let us consider a normal cell. This is a normal cell. This is a normal cell which is exposed to stressful conditions. Will result in adaptations. It results in adaptations. Now, this is adapted cell. This cell is the adapted cell. Now, if the stress is increased, if the stress on adapted cell is increased, it results in cell injury. This is normal physiology of cell injury, and if we remove the stressful conditions here, if we remove the stress here and stress here, if the injured cell can become normal cell, then it is called reversible cell injury. That is RCI. In a injured cell, if the stressful condition is decreased, then the injured cell may convert into normal cell, is called reversible cell injury. Now, if we discuss about what are the morphological changes which takes place in reversible cell injury, means there are 4 different types of morphological changes which takes place. First one is hydropic changes. And second one is hyaline changes. And third one is mucin changes. And fourth one is fatty changes. Let us discuss these 4 changes. That is, first one is hydropic changes. That is hydropic changes. What is hydropic changes in case of reversible cell injury? Accumulation of water in the injured cell is called hydropic changes. Accumulation of water in cell. Accumulation of water in cell is called hydrophobic changes. That is, in case of injured cell, that is hydrophic changes. What are the conditions which results in hydrophic changes? Means, now, as we know that this is a normal cell. In this normal cell, and this is a nucleus, and there are pumps like this is sodium potassium pump, and This is calcium pump. Normally 3 sodium molecules to maintain the osmotic concentration. 3 sodium molecules should go out of the cell and 2 potassium molecules should come to the inner side of the cell. But in case of hydrophobic conditions, the sodium will get accumulated in the sodium will fail to go outside of the cell. Ultimately the sodium concentration will be in the cell will be increased. Sodium concentration in the cell will be increased, and whenever the sodium concentration inside the cell will be increased, now the osmotic pressure in the cell will be increased. Ultimately, as we know that osmosis is movement of water molecule from low concentration to high concentration. Here at the outer side of the cell, the osmotic pressure is low. At the inside of the cell, the osmotic pressure is high. Ultimately, the water will move from outside to inside. Water moves from outside to inside and results in increase in size of a cell. Results in increase in size of a cell. This is nucleus. This is sodium molecules. And these are the pumps of sodium, potassium and calcium pumps. And this is about hydrophobic changes and what are the conditions which results in hydrophobic changes and what are the causes of hydrophobic changes means action of bacterial toxins and chemicals and poisons, etc. This is about hydrophobic conditions, and in case of hydrophobic conditions there will be clear vision of vacuoles. These are vacuoles. Large sized vacuoles can be seen in case of hydrophobic conditions. This is hydrophobic conditions, and next one is Hylin changes. Second change is Hylin change. Hylin is a cartilage, and what is Hylin change means accumulation of proteins in the injured cell. Accumulation of proteins in injured cell. Accumulation of proteins in injured cell is called Hylin changes, and if there is any alterations in the cell, that is either intracellular or extracellular and results in homogeneous and cloudy material. It is homogeneous and cloudy material is called Hylin changes, and this may be intracellular or else extracellular. Intracellular or else extracellular. If there is accumulation of proteins at the inner side of the cell is called intracellular Hylin change, and if there is accumulation of proteins at the outer side of the cell is called extracellular Hylin changes. Now this intracellular Hylin changes includes Hylin droplets, and Maliary bodies, hyaline droplets and Mallary bodies and Russell bodies. Hyaline droplets, Mallary bodies and Russell bodies, these are included under intracellular hyaline changes. And next one is extracellular hyaline changes. It includes benign tumors. It includes benign tumors and atherosclerosis. This is about hyaline change, and this is second type of morphological change. And if we discuss next third type, that is mucin changes. Or mucoid, this is also called mucoid changes. Mucin is a structural and functional unit of mucoid, and accumulation of mucins in the cells is called mucin changes. Here the mucin will get accumulated, and if the mucin will get accumulated in the epithelial tissue, it is called epithelial mucin change. Epithelial mucin change. And if accumulation of mucins takes place in connective tissue, it is called connective tissue mucin change. Connective tissue mucin change. Epithelial mucin change and connective tissue mucin change. And this epithelial tissue mucin change includes carothol. It includes carothol inflammations, that is a type of inflammation. And next one, it includes cystic fibrosis. Epithelial mucin change includes inflammations and cystic fibrosis, whereas connective tissue mucin changes includes myxoedema. Connective tissue mucin changes includes myxoedema, and this is third type. And if we include what is fourth type, means fatty changes. This fourth one is fatty changes. What are fatty changes? Accumulation of fat in the injured cell is fatty changes. Accumulation of fat in injured cell. Accumulation of fat is fatty changes in irreversible injured cell. It is morphological changes which takes place in reversible cell injury, and it includes fatty liver. In fatty liver, let us consider this is a cell and this is a nucleus, and inside the cell it is accumulated by triglycerols. Triacylglycerols. Triacylglycerols are accumulated in the cell in case of fatty acids. And second one, that is it includes atherosclerosis. This atherosclerosis is because of accumulation of cholesterol. This is cholesterol. because of accumulation of cholesterol it results in atherosclerosis. And this is about morphological changes which takes place in reversible cell injury. It includes 4 different types of changes. That is, first one hydrophic changes, second one hyaline changes, third one is mucin changes or mucoid changes, and fourth one fatty changes. Hydrophic changes is because of accumulation of water in the cell. What are the conditions which results in hydrophic changes are whenever the sodium in normal cell, the 3 sodium ions should go out of the cell and 2 potassium ions should come inside of the cell. But here, due to the dysfunction of these pumps, the sodium concentration will be increased inside of the cell. When sodium concentration is increased in the cell, then ultimately osmotic pressure inside the cell will be increased, and if osmotic pressure is increased in the cell than the outside of the cell, then now the water from outside will be entered into the inner side of the cell. Ultimately the size of the cell will get increased, which is a morphological feature changes of reversible cell injury. And whenever the size is increased, it results in formation of clear vacuoles. These are the vacuoles. These are the vacuoles can be seen clearly, and these hydrophic changes occurs because of bacterial toxins, chemicals and poisons, etc. This is about hydrophic changes. And second one is hyaline changes, which occurs because of accumulation of proteins in a cell, and it is homogeneous and cloudy in shape, and it is of two types. One is intracellular hyaline changes and other one is extracellular hyaline changes. This intracellular hyaline changes includes hyaline droplets, Maliary bodies and Russell bodies, whereas extracellular hyaline changes includes benign tumors and atherosclerosis. This atherosclerosis is because of accumulation of fatty material in the blood vessels, and this is second type, that is hyaline changes. And third type is mucoid changes. This mucoid changes is because of accumulation of mucin in the cell, is called mucin changes. Now these mucin changes can be studied by two ways. If the mucin is accumulated in the epithelial tissue, then it is called epithelial tissue mucin change. If the mucin is accumulated in the connective tissue, then it is called connective tissue mucin cell. Examples of epithelial tissue mucin change is inflammations and cystic fibrosis, whereas examples for connective tissue mucin change is myxoedemas. This is about third change, that is mucin change. And fourth change is fatty changes. What are fatty changes means? Accumulation of fat in the cell is called fatty changes, and accumulation of fat in the cell is called fatty changes. These fatty changes can be explained by with two examples, that is fatty liver and other one is atherosclerosis. And in case of fatty liver, inside the cell triacylglycerols are accumulated, which results in fatty liver, which is a characteristic feature of fatty liver. And in atherosclerosis, cholesterol will be accumulated at the inside of the cell. Accumulation of cholesterol is the characteristic features of atherosclerosis, and this is about morphological changes which takes place in reversible cell injury, that is hydrophic changes, hyaline changes, mucin changes and fatty changes.